has done it in top style, wearing a silly hat and a cheeky smile. Dad has also had his share of extremity, with virtual being his creative remedy. Without any level of expansion, he transformed a house into a mansion. It's totally changed since it was owned by Lizzie, but this has certainly kept him very busy. Because when Dad spots a potential success, absolutely nothing will let him digress. This has often meant Dad couldn't be there, but we all know it wasn't because he didn't care. At the age of 7, I was in the school Christmas show, but Dad was so busy he was unable to go. So instead he delivered me a massive bouquet, which he still sends me every year to this very day. It's true. But don't feel too bad, Dad. We were all very aware that the money you made allowed for the holidays we'd share. I remember a certain trip to the US where Richard began as a total mess. He stumbled home at 3 a.m. with an hour to pack and be out again. When we arrived in America, it was clear to see Richard had packed nothing of need. And there it is, another wallet hole. But that's just how our Richard rolls. During our trip through the Grand Canyon, Richard made many companions. He was always our boy on the front line, bringing back friends every time. I also remember, on another trip, something that made Dad completely flip. We had to hold back the laughs as a bird casually pooed, right in the centre of his long-awaited food.
Bloody great seagull. Shit my lunch.
I'm sure it was karma for the amount you were teased, such as telling us there were sharks once we were all in the sea. This has become a bit of a running theme. The birds have obviously sided on the kids' team, because wherever we go, Dad seems to get hit by some sort of falling payback shit. Now to look at the last 5 years, with both your lives in top gears. Richard decided to become his own boss, but his wooden goods made a big loss. Luckily for Richard, the blame was felt by Dad, who bailed him out after feeling too bad. It allowed for Yomp to be launched with debt-free zeal, but of course there was someone else who helped seal this deal. Yomp wouldn't be possible without Brother Tim. After all, your whole life has been spent with him. And therefore...
Not all of it. 15 months of pleasure.
And therefore, although there can be tension, the love and respect you have for one another doesn't need to be mentioned. Also within the last 5 years, Rich has become the envy of all his peers, because somehow he's managed to settle down with the most beautiful girl for all around. Who's that? The two of you have a fairy tale marriage. The only thing missing is the golden carriage. But what you have instead is a monstrosity of a car, with Rich seeming to think he is a Chelsea tractor rock. Dad, on the other hand, has always enjoyed a soft top, blasting Bryan Adams or some other pop rock. However, in recent years, he's traded it in and preferred the method of extreme sledging. In 2008, Dad went forth and took on a venture to the far north. We all thought you were done when you reached the pole. Little did we know you were just starting on a roll. And therefore, and before we knew it, there was word of mouth that the Virtual Explorer was going south. Dad's new best friend became the rubber tyre. And wherever they went, people would inquire.
Oh, God.
Dad became the local celeb who was followed by hundreds across the web. Off you set at an amazing pace, not knowing the severe challenge that you'd face. When we spoke to you on Christmas Day, I was shocked at how little you managed to say, because for the last few weeks you had struggled for breath, and at 3 days away you were facing death. I am so proud of you for the difficult decision you made to call the helicopter so you could be saved. Our skeleton man was finding home, and now he's at full health. We can all see how he's grown.
I don't have to drag it anymore.
Since being home, you've become a handyman, and it's obvious to see you are your own biggest fan.
You'll all come and have a look in a minute.
Dad is glowing with pride over his bedding creations. No, not his children. I'm talking about his carnations. He's also built his own workshop, where he spends hours creating yet another worktop. One day, Mum, you'll get your bridge house, but for now at least it keeps him as quiet as a mouse. Dad, as much as I love to tease, really you're the one I want to please. If my silly stories make you laugh out loud, or something I've done makes you feel proud, I get a glowing feeling deep inside, and I too share in that pride. And Richard, although I love to mock, throughout my life you have been a rock.
He's a cock. Sorry. I'll get down on that.
Can we edit it?
I should have written that.
If I need to talk certain things through, I know I can always turn to you. You cut me down when I've become too cocky. And installed a sense of power when I've been feeling rocky. Well, there you have it, the last 30 years, in which there's been laughs and significantly few tears. As a family unit, we are incredibly strong, allowing absolutely nothing to stop us from getting along. So although every birthday we like to make a special one, for this year only, you two boys create the perfect sum. Happy birthday.
Jenny, just a couple of changes is fine.
You can use Nigel's Tidbits.
That's run out.